Hey, what's up everyone? Tedrick85 here, and today I'm going to be talking about Episode 8 of The Legend of Korra Book 3, which is titled The Terror Within. Before I get to the heart of the episode, I want to talk about how the episode starts, mainly with Opal's farewell dinner that her families have of her before she goes to Northern Air Temple to do her airbending training, and once again we see her and Bolin bond a little bit more. I know some people complain that this romance feels a little bit forced, but I have no problem with it. As a matter of fact, I like it more than I do the romance that's trying to brew between Janora and Kai. So I have no problem with it, and I really like the fact that you get to see Opal one last time before she starts her airbending training. Now the big thing about this episode is the main theme, I should say, is deceit, and first of all, we find out that Zaheer and his gang somehow infiltrated Zhao Fu and managed to get and tranquilize Korra and that and try to kidnap her. Now, this being said, I know Sue said it's Zhao Fu was the safest city in the world and that, but even it shows how formidable Zaheer and company is because they were able to crack in there and get Korra. So yeah, and there was a big fight scene in the episode between the rest of Team Avatar and Zaheer and his gang, and trying to get Korra back. And we could see some good examples of how powerful these enemies are. You see Plee with her combustion bending, and Gazan with his lava bending. Which, up until this point, I always thought that an Avatar was the only one that could lava bend, but Gazan could, as we clearly saw, is able to lava bend, so that really wasn't much of a factor for him. And you see Ming Hua continuing her formidable water bending despite having no arms in that. And they put up quite a fight with Team Avatar, of course. Lin and Sue ends up helping out too. They end up working together to help out Mako, Bolin, and Asami and them. But luckily they were able to get Korra back after an intense battle with Zaheer and that. But here, after getting Korra back, the focus was on how exactly Zaheer got into the city, and that's where the mole aspect comes into. And so they Sue gets Ai, which is her loyal assistant, and starts interrogating everybody in the city, including the guards and that. He ends up interrogating this 18-year-old guard, and he ends up determining that he was lying about his whereabouts and that, and pinned all the blame on him. Which doesn't strike a particularly good chord with Mako, because he's thinking to himself, how would an 18-year-old associate himself with Zaheer when Zaheer just broke out after being in prison for 15 years? So, here Mako, Bolin, and Asami do their own investigating in that, as well as Korra, because she ended up getting, first of all, she got tranquilized by Shirshu spit darts, and luckily they were able to bring her back about. And Mako and that starts becoming suspicious. Korra wants to bust Ai immediately, but here Mako said that they have to have evidence in that before they could, and of course they end up doing confronting Ai about it, and comes to find out he did plant the evidence on the 18-year-old guard, and he is the one that's been helping Zaheer and that. Which is much to the disappointment of Su Yin, because she considered him part of the family in that, and she said he was the person she could trust the most, and you could tell it really broke her heart having to hear that. But unfortunately, Ai was able to escape, and by doing so, he caused a big explosion in his secret library, which was hidden in a secret door in that, destroying all the evidence that they could, but luckily Team Korra was able to stay safe from the explosion due to Korra forming an airbending bubble around them. But as for Lin, she wanted Korra to stay put and get the airship ready and that, and don't even try to go after Zaheer or Ai rather. And then when Lin left, Sue ends up giving Korra the keys to Iway's Jeep, and much to Korra's surprise, after Lynn just told her to stay put, which Sue agreed with her sister on that when she was around, but Sue was like, well, I just told Lynn what she wanted to, so here the episode ended where Sue gave Lynn the keys to the Jeep and then see if she could get Naga to track Iway's tracks and that, but yeah, this was a pretty good episode. It truly shows that those that are looked upon to be the most trusted ends up being the ones that hurt people the most, and Iway is a perfect example of that because he was Sue's assistant for how many years and that, and come to find out that he was working with Zaheer this whole time, trying to help him out and see what he could do about Korra and that. So it goes to show just how dangerous these people are, and it shows what Team Avatar is up against in regards to this whole matter and that. So and that's pretty much it for this episode. I'll talk a little bit more because the next episode goes into more of the Iway situation and how exactly he's involved with Zaheer, and we'll also get to see what exactly Zaheer's plans are and who he's affiliated with, if anybody, in that. So, that's pretty much it for this video. So, thank you for watching and see you again next time.